Every Night is Game Night, episode 62, recap of PAX Unplugged 2017. Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome back to Every Night is Game Night. I am your host, Jason. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, that's a little bit of a raspy quality that you might detect in my voice. Anthony and I have just returned from PAX Unplugged 2017. We've just met for the first time, actually, after a year of doing the podcast, and we're really excited to share some of our experiences, some of the games we played, and all that good stuff. So the way we're going to do it for this episode is that I went around to the different attendees, and I got a bunch of sound clips, 2, 3, 4-minute little bits where I asked people questions about what they were playing, what kind of experiences they were having, how they were experiencing the con, and we're just going to mash them up and give them all to you. So I think the biggest treat that I was able to come up with was I got a chance to talk with Sam, Tom, and Zee from the Dice Tower about solo gaming. So Tom caused a little bit of a hubbub when he named Gloomhaven his number one solo game, or his number one game, which happened to be a solo game. And it's like all of a sudden Tom's a solo gamer. So I figured it'd be really fun to talk to all the Dice Tower guys about, that change and how their opinions of solo gaming has evolved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you wait for the end. There's a lot more to go. There's a lot more clips, a lot more people to hear from. So we're going to do that first. And I'm going to break them up into chunks of 3. So for the first part of 3, we're going to listen to a couple of publishers. There were tons of publishers there. It was so impossible to just make a couple of minutes of time to talk with people. But, I was able to kind of, tackle some people and pull some strings, and, we get able to sit down, get a couple minutes, talk about some of the games, talk about some of the hot games that people are playing. Also, just because I don't want to be a liar, I said that Anthony was going to return to the podcast this week. He will return to the podcast, in clip form. So we're going to hear from Anthony, then we're going to hear from a couple of publishers, and then we're going to move on to the next set of clips. So let's get to it. Here's Anthony talking about some of his experiences with the con, and then we're going to talk to a couple of publishers, Creativity Hub, the publishers of Untold Adventures Await, and Renegade Game Studios, publishers of lots of stuff. Hey, this is Jason here at PAX, and our first guest should be familiar to everybody. It is Anthony Chatfield. Welcome back to your own show.
Hey, what?
Sorry, man. You were busy. We had a weekly schedule to run, so what are we going to do?
Yeah, man, no, it's been crazy, but you've done awesome without me, so yeah, it's cool to be back.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to host this program with Albert Hernandez. We're good with that. Anthony will be back as regular guest host regular co-host next week. But Anthony, how did you like PAX so far?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. By far, this is the most games I've ever played at a con. Usually I'm busy in meetings and running around, but this was definitely a game player's con.
This was very much a game player's con. I could tell from the retailer side because I work for Renegade, and just looking around the booths, a lot of companies went back with a lot of stock. Not exactly a seller's con. It was a player's con, which is, we're on the player side, so of course that's going to work out for us.
Yeah, man, it was like talking to people. There's a ton of new gamers out here, and most people think that's awesome, even if they didn't sell enough stock. You got people coming in who don't even know what Munchkin is, or seeing their friendly local game stores, Barnes & Noble. So these are PAX people, and that means we're bringing new people into the hobby, like tens of thousands of people this weekend. So that was awesome.
Oh, very cool. So what'd you do? What would be the highlight of the con for you?
We hit up that first look area where
I know the voice, man. Every single person on the con has been about the voice.
Yeah, man. I played TI4 on Saturday, and I was teaching. Like in this, you guys hear the background noise right now, but imagine drinking at midnight, and it was like, "This is where you move this piece." So yeah, I'm losing it a little bit, but yeah, the first look area where they brought in all the stuff from Essen and some of the other new releases. Nobody was selling any of these games, with a couple of small exceptions.
Right.
But we got to play a lot of stuff we won't get to play otherwise for months. So that was pretty cool. Like
what? Altiplano was there, Azul was there, but not for sale.
Yeah, Altiplano was one we got to play. That one's coming pretty soon, I think. Newsfjord, the new Rosenberg, got a chance to play that. It was fantastic. I actually reviewed that on BGA, so you guys can check that out.
Plug for BGA.
Yeah, always. Majesty, the new game from the Splendor creator, was fantastic. We got to play Gaia Project.
Oh, wow, you play Gaia Project?
I did, yeah. It is Terra Mystica in space, guys. It is exactly what it is.
We're going to look forward to that in another future episode?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to pick that one up. So,
Okay.
which is why I wanted to play it. Should I pick this one up? And I played enough to think, yes, I will.
So this is more like a preview of the next month or two.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 games in there that I get to play that have solo versions that obviously I can't play solo at a con. So once I pick them up, I will. I will do that for all of you.
Awesome, man. All right, so we're going to get on with the other guests, but Anthony, you will be back in the chair next week. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, I'm back. No more running and hiding for me.
All right, let me grab a sip of this thing.
And I'm here while Michael Fox gets his voice ready and takes a sip of his coffee.
Me. Okay, ready to roll. Here we go.
You can tell from my voice as well that this con is a little bit of a strain on everybody's voice in general. So is the voice ready? Are you ready to go?
The voice is primed. The voice is a little bit groggy, actually. Okay.
Both of us.
Here we go. Cool. Yes, hello. How are you?
Hi, welcome. I wanted to stop by. Actually, this is a little bit of a shout out to our friend Albert at the One Player Guild. He has been talking about this game Untold, published by Creativity Hub, which you are the
in-house designer developer, although I didn't design this. So I, of course, worked on developing it with the rest of the company, though. So that's cool.
So Untold, adventures await, successful Kickstarter, and there are copies here at the Hub. We're stopping by here partly, hey Albert, what's going on? Partly because it's a really cool storytelling game, and I'm interested to know if there's been any fun stories that have come up out of demoing the game here at the con.
Yeah, man. So we've been running short demos of people. They can just check out the game and get like a quick 10-minute overview. But we have been doing like full-on, hour-long playthroughs of it as well. So if people want to come, they just rock down and say, "Hey, can we play this whole thing?" Yes, you can. We can make that happen. So we had this group yesterday, all down from New York for the show. They'd never played a role-playing game in their lives, but they said, "All right, we'll give this a go, see how it rocks out." And from the moment the first part of the game kicks off, so you have to answer 4 questions to sort of build your setting for the world. And I knew I was in for some trouble immediately, in the best possible way. So it was good. So they came up with characters that were half human, half something else. One was a centaur, nice and simple.
Yeah, there you go.
One was a captor that would only refer to itself as the captor, so
Okay.
half cat, half... We couldn't quite work out whether it was half human, half horse. But
I thought it was a cactar, like in Final Fantasy, the little cactus man who would run away.
No. This was like half cat, half horse.
Okay, then.
Or potentially half cat, half human, depending on the mood of the person.
This is this type of game, ladies and gentlemen.
On top of that, we had one of the players, she was just playing her cat. And then somebody was playing a financial services officer. Because, of course, we know that they're all half monsters anyway.
Sick burn.
It's early. It's time for the sick burns to come out. So they were playing in this weird post-apocalyptic New York universe. Basically their neighborhood, but everything had gone to hell in a handbasket. And it turned out that one of them was a gigolo. Yeah, that happened. And his brother... The whole story started out with he was attacking the local iPhone store, which got very odd.
We have a PAX employee listening to the story right now. The look on his face is like, what are you guys demoing here? This is not pushing cubes at all.
No. So eventually the story evolved into a tale of acquisitions and mergers and business dealings. And then the financial services officer died, which was impressive, but it did give us a really lovely sort of like... turnaround on the whole episode that was created, because it turned out that he had unlocked the key to genetic mutation and manipulation, and everybody can return to what they were before the bombs fell. But yeah, in between there was sword fighting, there were lasers, there was erotic stuff. That's about as far as I'm going to go.
Okay.
And it was it was a thing. It was of all the stories in the world, it was most definitely one of them.
So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a slice of the kind of stuff that you experience through the game Untold. I'm really looking forward to this game, trying this out. Hopefully I'll have a review at some point for you guys. So thank you so much, Michael, for sharing the story, and good luck with the rest of the con.
All right, man. Thanks for having us.
Hey, everybody. We're here with my boss for this convention. So this is going to be the opposite of a hard-hitting interrogative thing. Here is Sarah Erickson from Renegade Games. Say hi, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
And just hanging out. All right, marketing coordinator for Renegade Games, Steph Hodge. Welcome to the show.
Hey there, it's Steph.
Okay, so how was the con for you ladies? We're sitting here at the bottom of the hotel. My voice is still gone. Did you guys have a lot of fun?
This was incredible because we got to go and meet so many new fans that we have never seen before, that were fans of either PAX or fans of just video games or board games in general, but never been to a convention. And actually, that's true for you as well.
This is my first con, so thank you very much, Sarah, for bringing me along. I really don't want this to be a giant love fest, but it kind of is because this was a lot of fun. How about you, Steph? Did you have a lot of fun?
I did. It was actually the first con I was working because I always have gone as a fan, but now I'm a fan of Renegade, so I got to show off Sentient and Ex Libris a lot, and that was amazing.
Cool. So what was Renegade's game of the con?
I would say Pytown was a huge hit here. It's not out yet, and so it was kind of a sneak preview for some of our fans who were excited to be here at the show and already knew about us. So for those guys, Pytown. But I would say for people just discovering Renegade, we had a lot of interest in our Shiba Inu corner. So there's one of our favorite designers, Aza Chen, and he's made Kitty Pod, Doggy Go, and Shiba Inu house for us. And all three of those we put in their own little area, and they sold out immediately. It was super amazing, so it was fun.
What I will say is that, so I reviewed Flip Ships on the pod, and it was okay. It didn't really make that much of an impression on me, but demoing it and watching people fail at flipping the ship and flipping it into the next table and, going crazy, I'm like, wow, okay, I got it now. That's what this game is. So, I was demoing Fuse on right next to it. Like I said, with a big table, flip chips on one side, Fuse on the other. So people were like, oh my God, we're rolling dice. What the hell is that pog? What's going on over here? So the Fuse demos didn't go that well because flip chips kept on intruding. Which, wow, that was kind of an eye-opener for me. So that was kind of cool. So, Steph, you are... So if you guys don't know, Steph just plays games all the time. Every time, every day, every single day. If she's not playing games, she's blogging about them. So what about you? What was your game of the con?
Well, actually, I was mostly demoing Renegade, and I think I played maybe 10 games of Ex Libris. So for me, it was definitely Ex Libris. I love placing those cards down and getting those alphabetized books because I used to work in a bookstore, so that really resonates with me.
So you're a giant nerd.
I'm a giant nerd.
Aren't we all? That's what makes it so much fun. Yeah.
Is there anything that kind of sticks out about the con for you? I mean, not just like a game, but experience-wise. Is there a person who you met or something like that that's oh, wow, I'm going to remember that?
So I was here in Philadelphia about 6 months ago, and I met this incredible lady, Patricia, and I got to come back here and see her again. And she's just one of those ladies who's really all about community, really inclusive, really wants to bring almost everybody into board games. And she does a lot of other stuff even outside of that with other communities, like running communities, and she's just incredible. So getting to see her again was really the highlight of my trip.
Cool.
For me, it was Mandy, the pinup girl. She got to host an event for Renegade, and we got to teach all these families, and all these kids had so much fun. They got to take home a game, so that was really awesome.
And my highlight was getting pelted with Flip Ships Pog. So, thank you, girls, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, it's been fun.
I'd like to thank Michael and Sarah and Board Gamer Steph once again for joining us and sharing about some of the stuff they were doing at their respective booths. So I wanted to pause a little bit and talk about, as it was revealed in the show, I worked for Renegade all 3 days. I demoed stuff. I demoed my face off. Flip Ships, Ex Libris, Clank It Space, all sorts of Renegade titles. And I gotta say, number one, Renegade is an awesome company to work for. If you are interested in demoing at all, then that is a great company to kind of get in on. The best way to meet some of these people is just to go to a con as a guest, or, if they're going to a local thing, or you just hit them up on Twitter or whatever it is, just get your name out there, say, show your passion. And say, okay, I'd really love to do this. And, Sarah or Scott Gata, who has been a guest on our show, we'll take a look and say, okay, see if this is the right fit. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that for an introverted person, so we always wondering okay, solo games, tends to attract introverted people. How can I go to a con? right? How can I go to, with 10,000 people, surrounded by noise, surrounded by all sorts of hubbub and everything? It's going to be overwhelming. I will say that linking up with a demo team is an excellent way to kind of navigate that, because while there is a lot of hubbub and noise, and while you're going to get a flowing number of people all over the place, the important thing is that you're part of a team and you have a job. So you don't have to take in all of that stimulus all at once. You're focused on your table, you're focused on doing your thing, and obviously you want to be, happy and look stuff. But it's nice to just have a one place, like one home base to go to, and then whenever you get your break, you just kind of go into a dark corner and regenerate the battery a little bit. So I definitely want to highly recommend the demo experience, whether it's for Renegade or whether it's for another company, in terms of how to navigate the con. I certainly had a lot of fun. Don't know if I'm going to do it again because it was really exhausting, but ask me after I get back my voice and I get back a little bit of energy. I might just say in a week from now, hey, send me up to the next con. So that was my experience. Without further ado, I'd like to get to a couple of other people. I'm going to hold off on the Dice Tower. Don't worry, you're going to get them. But I have a couple of other people, convention goers who have a little bit of different perspectives, a couple of random things to share. So I'm going to introduce you to Jen Bartlett, the board game librarian, to Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise, and to Mandy Hutchinson from the Dice Tower.
Hey, this is Jason at PAX. I'm here with the board game librarian, the star of Favorite Game Fridays. They're laughing because this is Jen Bartlett. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Laughing because Jen is patting her husband, Matt, who I believe is not the board game anything. You are...
Really? No.
You're just Matt.
Yeah.
Matt the board gamer.
Yes. I'm the guy behind the camera.
Ah, the man behind the woman.
Yes.
I like this. Cool. So there's some good friends of mine who we just met each other at PAX. How you liking it so far?
Well, I think we've had a really great experience. Smaller than we thought, but really awesome that we've been able to sit down and try a lot more games, which we generally can't do at Gen Con.
Yeah, it also gave us a chance to check out some of the smaller publishers. Usually when you have like the big ones, Asmodee and Fantasy Flight, that takes up a lot of your time, and you get to see some of the smaller ones here.
You guys were at the Shut Up and Sit Down stuff, right? You guys were at the panel and the meetup and all that stuff. Anything that we should know about it? You guys are on-the-site reporters for that.
The crowd was huge. I think it's just a testimony to how much people love them. One of our most interesting points from the show was a Q&A, and Matt can explain more of it.
Somebody asked them about feedback on their reviews, and they had mentioned with the Scythe review that Paul, the one who had done that, got so much crap. Garbage. From...
We're family friendly here, garbage.
From Scythe fans, diehard Scythe fans, that it almost broke him. Paul almost stopped doing board game reviews.
Wow.
And then they said Jamie Stegmaier basically contacted them and apologized for the Scythe fans. So it's interesting to see that even though they have a very lighthearted tone to their reviews, there's a very dark side to it as well, and that they're not afraid to publish the negative reviews.
Well, let that be a lesson to everybody. The internet is a really scary place. Just try to post nice stuff every once in a while. But thank you guys very much for coming on the show. Oh, actually, a really quick question. Game of the con, just really quickly.
Oh, I'm choking. Matt, you go. Come back to me.
For me, it's Hunt for the Ring.
Who?
Hunt for the Ring, Ares.
Hunt for the Ring, Ares Games. I also heard that Fog of Love was really good.
Oh,
No, maybe not.
That we tried?
I thought you were talking about what we tried.
Oh, we tried Scarlet Pimpernel coming on Kickstarter in January from Eagle Griffin. It's going to be artwork from Ian O'Toole, who people love.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the pod.
Sure.
I am here with Mandy Hutchinson from the Dallas Tire, and we both sound horrific.
Yeah, long night of karaoke. Woohoo!
And demoing and doing all sorts of stuff. So Mandy and I are both working for Renegade. How have you handled standing on your legs for 3 hours, being a famous podcasting person, and just being everything at all times the whole weekend?
Okay, I don't know about this famous business, but I really like working on the booth. I used to be a teacher, and I love to teach. So can I tell you, the throbbing of the feet, I don't notice until the end of the night. I also used to work retail when I was going to university, so you get used to the hard floors. But teaching the games, people being super happy about it, it literally makes up for it.
That is super cool. Okay, so I wanted to have you on the pod because there was a little bit of a controversy that you started in the last Dice Tower episode. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We have some Stefan Feld fans in the house in our podcast, and there was a little comment about Merlin.
Yes.
So Merlin has some dice rolling. Stefan Feld likes to put in dice every once in a while in his bigger games, and I believe the comment it was some people had said it was a little bit lucky. They felt very lucky and they didn't feel like they were in control. So Mandy says something to the effect of, suck it up and learn to play.
Okay, wow, I was not that harsh, but I did. A lot of people complain about dice being, okay, it's luck driven, there's no way to help mitigate the dice. So I kind of was a little, okay, come on. You can plan your actions accordingly. Do not blame it on the dice. In this game, you have flags and other things that can alter your dice. If you know this, you can acquire these flags in advance, so when you are ready, you can change your dice to take the actions. Now, granted, you're not always going to have the actions of your dreams, but then what game is going to always give you the actions of your dreams, right? So for me, yes, maybe a touch of luck, but you can plan your actions. It's all how you play the game. Don't let the dice own you is my point.
So if you're playing with Mandy and you open your mouth about things being lucky, Mandy's just going to give you that stare, lower those glasses and be like, learn to play.
That's right. Learn it.
Just kidding. We're just playing around. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Mandy, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Completely full of them. Okay, actually, we're going to get this on the pod.
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Hey, Jason's back here, and I'm with Loopy Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise. I can't even do that with my broken voice, but...
Tell me about it. Yeah, this is going to be a very softly spoken interview.
We just finished up with Mandy, and she has this. We had the same issue. I'm sorry to all the listeners. This is what convention life is all about. How you doing? How has been the weekend?
It has been, wow! It has been incredibly busy. We had no idea what to expect at PAX Unplugged, especially with it being the first one. But yesterday, the exhibit hall here where we're working was open 8 hours.
And you working for Passport Game Studios?
Yep, I'm working in the Passport Game Studios booth, doing demos, doing their retail, and I started timing it as the day went on. And I think yesterday, from 10 to 6, I had less than a half hour total of downtime. It was just people all the time, demo, sales. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and the hot game that I noticed you're featuring is Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time, which is at least the title of the year. I'm not sure if it's the game of the year, but that is definitely the coolest title of the year.
I would have to agree. I'm just surprised. I wish they could have made it even longer, because there's nothing better when you're doing like Facebook posts for a company than typing the same game's name over and over and over and over again. But yeah, that arrived, and we had some advanced copies of it at Gen Con, and those sold out. And the game was actually supposed to come out at Gen Con. Mm-hmm. And so while we were setting up the booth here on Wednesday, a pallet of the Professor Evil game showed up. And we're like, oh, it's out! It's arrived! Oh, perfect, we'll have some to sell. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Awesome. So on the Dice Tower, if people don't know, Chaz is on Board Game Breakfast, and he is known for his quirky insights and funny stories. So do you have any, maybe a preview of what you're going to talk about in a future section, or just something wacky that happened to you at the booth this week?
One thing, I guess, not to do any spoilers, but the next Board Game Breakfast segment that I'm doing is about a board game that you can eat. So, there you go. And when I discovered it, I was like, no way, and serious money, that's what it is.
So if that sounds interesting to you at all, please tune into Board Game Breakfast next time. Chaz, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time and mental energy. I know 6 o'clock on 6 o'clock on Sunday, not a lot of mental energy at all, but thanks a lot.
Yeah, my pleasure. And yeah, at this point, I'm basically doing my best impression of myself to keep going, but it's a pleasure talking to you.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Oh, once again, thank you to Mandy, to Jen and Matt, and to Chaz for joining us and giving us, I guess that was our random conversations about the con. I hope that you got a nice little cross section of some of the things that people were talking about and experiencing. So, yep, I've made you wait long enough. Without further ado, here are Tom, Sam, and Zee of the Dice Tower talking about solo games.
It's Zee Garcia, voice of the people. I have Zee. I just made him sit through the entire singing of his theme song. Thank you very much for tolerating that.
I thought it was really on point. You did a great job.
I try. I really do try. Even though I've been demoing stuff for 3 straight days, my voice is completely gone. Eric Summer hooked me up with some vocal tips, so that was great. We're a Solo Games podcast, and we want to kind of thank you for being, I know you're not like a huge solo gamer, but you are the guy on the Dice Tower that is open to this stuff. So I think Onirim or Onirim, something
like that. I always used to say Onirim. I think I've heard the designers say Onirim.
Yes, Onirim, knee. like be on your knees. I think it's like Onirim or something like that.
Right.
How many plays of that do you have on the app?
On the app? I don't know, actually.
700, 800, 1,000?
No, probably not. Maybe 80 on the app.
Oh, okay. Like the physical one.
But I've probably played that much on the physical one, as well. So
cool. So, question: how much garbage do you get now? Because you used to get a lot on the top 10 stuff like that for solo games and stuff. But Tom has changed his top 10. Gloomhaven's up there. Mansions of Madness and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like you've gotten a little bit? Has it gotten a little bit better in the Dice Tower?
From Tom, sure. I don't know about Sam.
So what's going on with Sam?
Sam, I still think, he still seems to believe solo gaming is not as valid, maybe. But I think Tom has, definitely come around a little bit. It was always a little tongue-in-cheek when he said he didn't like it that much. And that's true. He was video gaming mostly if he was doing something solitaire. But there's a lot of fun experiences to be had from solo board gaming or cards. And he's finally gotten a taste of that. I guess they finally made the one that worked for him. That's what it was.
Awesome. So Sam is still a holdout. So if somebody wants to get in touch with Sam or 8,000 somebodies from the One Player Guild, because that's how big the guild is, where can we contact Sam?
Oh, man, I am not giving you Sam's email address. So you can probably find it online.
Oh, little Twitter action? Ooh.
Yeah, just tweet at him. Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Just tweet at him. Anything in the last couple of months that you've played that's been pretty exciting for you, at least on the solo co-op end?
I've been mostly playing a lot of Arkham Horror LCG.
Okay.
The Arkham Horror LCG is just so hot right now for me. I've been playing my way through the entire first arc, the campaign, whatever they call it. And then I just got the new stuff. I haven't cracked into it yet, the Carcosa stuff.
Okay. What about Dunwich Legacy? Did you finish that, or is that?
I'm not quite done. That's the one I was talking about.
Okay,
Dunwich Legacy. I'm working my way through it, and it's beautiful the differences that they're able to incorporate from one scenario to the next. It's fantastic what they're doing with locations.
Yeah.
The way the quote unquote board is laid out, the way it all behaves. I think it's a superb solitaire game, one of the best.
Yeah. I'm really happy that it's like LCG, but it's not just the same old. They could get away with it. They could totally get away with the same stuff and it would sell, but they're really innovating. So I might have to get over my price, sticker shock or whatever it is, and buy into that.
So. Yeah, it's an evolving story, and they put that story pretty much up and center, front and center, and I think it works. It's for me definitely the Cthulhu game of choice.
No more Mansions of Madness, no more Eldritch Horror. Well, you never liked Eldritch Horror. It's too long and too random.
Right, that's the thing. Those games, for the story I'm getting, the amount of time and rules complexity it requires was a little too high for me.
Yeah.
So I definitely like this one better.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zee, for taking a little bit of time. Thank you for repping solo games, and, just thank you for everything that you're doing. Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Awesome. Hey everybody, Jason here, and I have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Tom Vassell. Welcome to the show, Tom.
I think myth might be the only one there that's accurate.
So, we're really excited because you have named Gloomhaven your #1 game of the year. Not only that, you point out on your top 100 list that you play it solo and prefer to play it solo.
Yeah, I think I could... I would say it's a tie between playing it solo and playing with one other person.
Okay. Right.
It's fine with more people. It's great. I still like it. But yeah, I like controlling my own destiny. But see, I've always been a big fan of any Baldur's Gate, any style game where I get to go through and play with all these different characters. So this is the same thing. It's just in a board game setting.
So this was able to catch you because it most like a video game.
I think so. I like a video game where I can go through and explore, and I am the center point of that universe.
Yes.
Okay, so, Skyrim and things like that. And so Gloomhaven allows me to do that. Even Arkham Horror...
Matches of Madness.
Yeah. Matches of Madness lets me do that. And, if any game allows me to do that, I'm really excited to do it.
So you have this reputation amongst solo players, and there are many, many of us, many more than people realize, about 8,000 of us in the One Player Guild, 10,000 of us on Facebook. And there's this rumor that you're not friendly to solo games, and it's only this year that you've kind of turned around on it a little bit. Is this fair?
Actually, that is a fair reputation, because I've always made fun of solo games. I'm like, tongue-in-cheek in the sense of I say, well, if you're playing solo game, maybe you should get some friends, right? And that's actually that's kind of a rude assessment, right? So, yeah, I'll renege on that. I don't know that if I see a game and it's a solo, I'm that interested in it. And I've definitely played some games solo, and I found that they're not fun for me at all. Mostly Euro games.
Right.
That whole machinery thing, I'm only happy when I'm going up against someone else. I'm not trying to be efficient. I want to be efficient compared to other people and have that social experience.
Right.
But I don't mind people, if someone's playing solo games, whether they have to or by choice, what concern is that of mine, first of all? Let them have their fun.
Right.
It's those zero-player games. I'm going to speak out against them now. All right, they're the problem.
The games on lonely tables where no one's attracted to them.
Yeah, right. So, but no, solo, I don't think you'll ever find me playing tons of solo. If a game comes in and it's a one-player game, it's still going to Zee over me. But I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I played another solo game the other day. I didn't like it, but it wasn't because it was solo. It just was not that great of a game.
Yeah, so I think what happens is, because a lot of the biggest quote-unquote jibes come with Zee, so you're going back and forth with Zee about it. So when you say, oh, Zee, you need to get more friends, you're talking to all the solo players, and we take it a little bit personally, so like a little bit of transference there.
Yeah, well, Zee really does need more friends. We're not going to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got to be careful taking jibes between me, Zee, and Sam as any kind of indication of anything. We make fun of Sam about all sorts of stuff too, and that's not, it just is what it is.
So what you're saying is we should take stuff on the internet less seriously. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and also if you only like solo games, you suck. Oh wait, that's not what you want me to say? No, it's fine.
So you have an open invitation to the One Player Guild. I think if you came, you'd be welcomed with open arms. No promises though.
But if you're in the One Player Guild, wouldn't everyone just be playing? I want to.
You were going to say it, weren't you?
I want to have a convention of solo games, and you go there, and everyone's just sitting at a table playing a game by themselves.
Well, what happened is everybody would be playing games in the hotels and stuff, but they'd be posting to Facebook and Instagram, posting on forums and stuff. I think that's where the social comes from.
I was going to say, that just goes to show you that even if it's a solo game, games are still a social construct.
That I 1,000% agree with that. Like you were saying before, I think a lot of players like to have that experience by themselves. They don't want to be slowed down. They want to be the center of the universe, and they want to solve the puzzle. But the solo part they get from being on a forum and posting all that kind of stuff. So I think the message is social gamers. Solo gamers are as social and as normal as everybody else. And now Tom Vassell, the great myth, right? Tom Vassell has said so.
Except Zee. But yes, for the rest of you, you're amazing.
And Zee, I think we're going to exclude Zee from any of this conversation. Thank you so much, Tom.
Zee is on this podcast also.
Zee is on the podcast also right before you, and he might be talking a little bit of smack about a Dice Tower person. Maybe Tom, maybe somebody else.
Everything Zee said was a lie.
Thank you so much, Tom.
No, my pleasure.
Okay. I'm here with the last of our interviews from the Dice Tower, Mr. Samuel, the last and possibly the best.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm buttering him up for what's coming later.
Yeah, I feel something coming, yeah.
Mr. Sam Healy, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You were mentioning before about really enjoying this PAX as being a really good first step. So tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, the experience I've had so far is that it's I think they're going to have Origins-like numbers as far as Origins in Columbus, but it doesn't feel that big. And that's a positive thing for me because I'm not a big crowds person. So if I can,
you're in the wrong job then.
True, right? Well, no, I can deal with it, you know. But if I had my druthers, if I would be at the booth working, or if I'm just milling around, walking around, I'd rather be at the booth working. That's what I mean by the big crowds. I mean, high school, I went to Metallica concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
So
pre-Black Album, of course, right? Pre-Black Album.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Load and Reload?
No, I'm not a huge fan of Metallica anymore. Most of the stuff, if I listen to any of their stuff anymore, it's going to be the older stuff that I listen to.
Good man.
Yeah, so
we're warming you up for what's coming.
Okay, yes. I get that sense. But anyway, I was talking to the guy yesterday, and I said, if you can have Origins-like numbers but not feel cramped as Origins or Gen Con or something like that, then you're doing something right. Because it is, I love the size of this convention, and I love the bigness of it, but it still feels kind of like a hometown type thing.
Right.
So it's cool.
Cool. All right. So here comes I gave you the couple of the left jabs. Yes. Here comes the right hook.
All right. Good. I've got my arm up. It's all right. It's
okay. There you go. You're Floyd putting up that defense.
That's right.
So you are the last holdout in terms of solo games in the Dice Tower Guild. Zee was always friendly to it. Yeah. Tom has a new number 1.
Yes.
Sam is...
Still not very much of a solo gamer at all. Simply because it's just, if I want to play a game by myself, it's going to be something on my phone, and it's going to be simply because I don't have the time or I don't have the ability, for whatever other reason, to sit down at a table with other people. So that's the way I enjoy playing board games a lot. I'm not the kind of person to just sit down and do a puzzle by myself.
Right.
And I'm not likening playing the solo mode games to doing the puzzle.
It kind of is though. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
we play complex Sudoku puzzles.
Yeah.
We play 25-box Sudoku puzzles. Right. That is what a Lacerta game is.
Yeah. See, Sudoku or Sudoku, totally not like what I like to do. I did it once on a plane, and I fell asleep halfway through it, and I was fine with that. Mm-hmm. But playing games solo is just not my cup of tea. I understand why people enjoy it, because it's like doing those word puzzles. It's like doing those crosswords. It's like doing those Sudoku puzzles. And that's, people get enjoyment from that. I'm all good with that. It's just not what I enjoy doing.
So we got about 8,000 people in the BGG Guild about to tweet you going, welcome back.
Yeah, I know.
You got one more holdout.
Yeah, I got you. That's pretty much it, yeah.
And, I think the big lesson is a lot of solo players, we're playing solo, but we're posting on Facebook and we're posting on BGG. Mm-hmm. So, as soon as we play a game, it's like boom, 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 picture. I think it's the most active Facebook guild in...
That's cool.
Yeah, among board gamers, 10,000, nothing to sneeze at, and thousands of posts today.
Absolutely.
So I think we're getting that social from playing and not getting quote unquote bogged down or being in control of our experience, but then posting and talking about it. Yeah. So we're gamers too. Yeah.
No,
so
absolutely. I've on Throat Punch Lunch, I've got Liz Davidson. She's from Beyond Solitaire. She has a segment and she does a bunch of games that are just solos, and she talks about them at length, and she enjoys it. So again, I asked her to be on the show.
Yeah.
I recognize the fact that solo gaming is there, and it's a niche in our hobby, and it's part of our hobby, and that's great that people enjoy doing that.
And we go leave it there. We leave it there. We don't need a but.
Okay.
You were taking in a breath. We'll just leave it there.
All right. We'll leave it there.
The Dice Tower is friendly to solo game. Friendly to it, open to it. Doesn't mean that everybody does it. Just
Absolutely.
Like I don't play complex Euros, or this person doesn't play Ameritrash.
Exactly.
We'll bring in solo games at least to that level. So when we tune in, we don't have to hear oh, you don't have any friends, or
when we say that to Zee.
Yeah, it's to Zee. It's to Zee.
Absolutely tongue in cheek. Absolutely tongue in cheek.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, for taking the time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right.
And that's going to go ahead and do it for another episode of Every Night is Game Night. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. So I really hope you enjoyed hearing from the Dice Tower guys, hearing from all the people who we interviewed, 9 in total. including Anthony, who will be back in the co-host chair next week. I really enjoyed just meeting up with him. It's fun to just, it's cool to go back and forth on the air, but to actually, spend some time in person, get some dinner, play some games, was super cool. I'm always going to remember that and look forward to the next time, hopefully at Origins or another place, another con like that.